I'm so excited. I can't believe we're leaving already.
I know, right? I'm so excited too. But I'm also a little nervous because I think there'll only be camels, deserts, and terrorists.
Don't be negative. There are all kinds of people, and I think we'll have an amazing time.
Oh, yeah. By the way, where exactly are we going?
To the Middle East.
Yeah, I know that, but where are we going?
Oh, we're going to Turkey, then to Israel. After that, we'll go to Saudi Arabia, and lastly, Afghanistan, and then we'll come back home.
That sounds great. Let's go.
Good morning, Hoş
Hi.
What was that you said?
Welcome in Turkish. Turkish is the official language of the country. It is spoken by 85% of the population. Okay, so my name is Adri and I will be your tour guide for the day. Now, there are some important things you need to know about our culture before we start. First, point to anyone with any part of your body is considered very rude. Also, whisper in public, so try to avoid this stuff. Also, punctuality is essential for us. Okay, so now we can start. Okay, now talking about general information. Turkey's population is about 80 million people, and Ankara is the capital city of the
What was that noise?
It's the call of the for prayers. Just like church bells, it reminds us to take a moment and just connect with God. Well, the most common religion in Turkey is Islam. As you may know, after the death of Muhammad, two groups were formed, the Shita and the Sunnis. Most Turks are Sunnis, and well, they differ their theology, rules, organizations, laws, but the Quran is the same for both. Well, you're probably tired, so we'll take a break. This is a traditional Turkish restaurant. As you may see, the waitress are wearing the traditional costume.
Hi. Personally, I recommend you that kofte. It is a traditional plate of Turkey. It is like meatballs served with rice and salad. You can see it if you want. Here there are some manners. The one that invites the other people to the restaurant has to pay the bill. And when you're finished, you put the fork and knife each on the side of the plate. If you want something, you can go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Waiter.
Yes.
So, what are your recommendations to drink, like something traditional?
I recommend you to drink Dabaki. It is an alcoholic beverage, it means lion's drink. It is kind of strong. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
Can you hand me your... First stop! 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 First stop!
Well, I hope you like the food. Now we will visit.
What are they doing?
Oh, they're protesting. They're Kurds, the major minority in our country. Around 80% of the population are Kurds, the other 75% are Turks, and the rest are from other minorities such as Greeks, Arabs, or Georgians.
And why are they protesting?
Because they suffer a lot of discrimination, such as Syrian refugees. Turkey already welcomed around 1.6 million of refugees, and it already cost the country 5.5 billion.
And what about your holiday?
Well, our National Sovereignty Day takes place on April 23, May 19th, that marks the start of the Independence War, and the Victory Day that takes place in August 30. In case you have any doubts, here's one video about Turkey nowadays.
So what's life really like in Turkey? Turkey has been a secular country since 1923, but for decades there's been a complex understanding of this identity. Though other religions, such as Judaism and Christianity, are practiced within the country, an overwhelming majority of Turkey identifies as Muslim, and the ezan, or call to prayer, is still heard 5 times a day. However, in keeping with their secular identity, wearing hijabs in public institutions was banned. Well, that is until recently. The lifting of the ban has further blurred the lines between state and religion. But outside religion, today Turkey tries to maintain a relaxing, slow-paced lifestyle, and people are very generous with their time. You'll often find Turks, young and old, smoking nargile, a Turkish water pipe, playing backgammon, and sipping tea. Sure, Turkey is known for its Turkish coffee, but tea is actually the beverage of choice for most Turks, and it's typically served with every meal. And time isn't a constraint for children either. There's no concept of a bedtime in Turkey. You'll find many children up with their families until midnight, sometimes even later.
Well, time's up. Nice to meet you. I hope you like my country. See you next time. Bye.
Shalom! Welcome to Israel.
We're very excited to be here.
I'm glad. We have lots of things to do today. I'm gonna be your tour guide.
Great, but why the rush?
Well, Israel is a very small country, but it has a lot of history and a lot of culture, so we have to get going.
Okay, let's get going then.
Okay, guys, you have to cover up for this, please.
Okay, but why do we have to do this though?
Well, this is the Temple Mount, one of the most religious places for many cultures, so we have to show respect for it. Let's go.
Wow, what is that?
Well, that is the Western Wall. It is the holiest place for the Jewish people to pray. And men and women are separated, and people can go and write prayers and place them on the wall.
Oh, and what about that place?
Well, that is the Al-Aqsa Mosque, one of the holiest places for Muslims. And that there is the Dome of the Rock.
It's amazing how a single city can be so important to so many different cultures.
Yeah, but they're actually not that different.
Yeah, I mean, while most people here living in Israel are Jewish, there's also a big percentage of Christians, Muslims, Druze, and Baha'is.
Oh, so what language do they speak here then?
Well, the official languages in Israel are Arabic and Hebrew, but people also speak in Spanish, English, Russian, and French.
Oh, maybe that's why men understood what we were saying.
Yeah, probably.
I don't get it though. Why is everything closed if it's a weekday?
Well, here in Israel, our weekend starts on Friday and ends on Saturday. So Sunday is a regular day here.
And why is that?
Well, because Shabbat, the Jewish holiday, is on those days. And most businesses are closed, people spend their time with family and friends, and leave is granted to as many soldiers as possible. Our vacations and holidays are based on the Jewish calendar, and non-Jewish people celebrate their holidays in their appropriate days. Actually, today is Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron. So if you happen to hear a siren, you just have to stand up and be quiet.
Okay, so we just stand up.
Yeah. Oh, it has begun to stand up.
Okay, so now I understand why I saw a soldier over there. So how does the military work here?
Well, every Israeli citizen has to complete their military service when they're 18 with the IDF, or Israeli Defense Forces, regardless of their gender.
Wow, that must be hard, especially for women.
Well, actually, people are very honored and excited to complete their military service and to be able to serve for their country. And about women, well, Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. So people around the state are treated equally, regardless of their age or gender.
I'm impressed, but what about the LGBT community?
They are treated just as any other citizen. Actually, Israel is one of the most open-minded countries on gender-related subjects. A couple of weeks ago, we had the Pride Parade in Tel Aviv, also known as the gay capital of the Middle East.
Ugly, I'm your beauty, you're my beast. Welcome to the Middle East. Tel Aviv, ya habibi, Tel Aviv. Tistakel.
Wow, I always thought people didn't have those rights here.
Yeah, Israel is the most westernized country in the Middle East, which is why people aren't afraid to fail here.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, Israelis are often encouraged to fail because that makes them start again and get back up. That's what makes us the startup nation.
Oh, like a startup business.
Exactly that. Israel is known for creating technology that has made our lives a lot easier. Remember Waze?
Oh yeah, one time we got lost and we couldn't find our way and it helped us. It was a lifesaver.
And do you like salads?
Yeah, of course.
Well, cherry tomatoes were invented here. Maybe to create a different version of the Israeli salad.
Oh, also I've heard about Israelis' advance on medicine and the army.
Yeah, like the Pilcam, that can photograph your body from the inside, and the Iron Dome, which can shoot down missiles by launching intercepting ones.
אנחנו פה בסטנד-ביי.
Wow, that's amazing.
Before you leave, here are some facts you might not know about Israel.
Israel is a young country. How young? Just 68 years old. In nation years, that's like 3 years old, a mere baby. Israel's population is just 1.6% of the entire population in the Middle East and takes up only 1/10% of the region's area, which means it's tiny. Basically, you can cross the entire country in less than 5 hours from snow-covered Mount Hermon to the sizzling beaches of Eilat. Israel is third in the world in the consumption of sweets and vegetables. Israel was the first country in the world to ban commercials starring underweight models. Israel has the highest number of academics per capita in the world and the highest proportion of startups and of museums as well. Tel Aviv is home to 80,000 dogs that enjoy more than 60 dog parks. And the biggest dog cemetery dating back to ancient times was discovered in Israel in Ashkelon. Speaking of ancient places, Jerusalem, one of the oldest cities in the world, is also the smartest one, as it was the first in the world to be completely covered by Wi-Fi. Books. Israel is number 2 in the world in book publishing. People of the book, remember? Wait, who's number 1? At least we're in first place when it comes to translating literary masterpieces from foreign languages. The USB stick is an Israeli invention which saves us lots of storage space. Israel is among the 10 leading countries in life expectancy. Folks here live on average to the ripe old age of 83. Israel has 273 kilometers of beaches, hugging the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, and the Sea of Galilee, the lowest sweetwater lake in the world. According to the New Testament, Jesus walked on the water here. This rescue board is called a hasakeh. It was invented here in the 1930s by a Jewish lifeguard. If you have a problem staying above water, the Dead Sea is the place for you. The salt concentration there is so high, anyone can stay afloat. Israel is one of only 8 countries that have sent a satellite into space. The busiest bird migration route in the world goes through Israel. 1 billion birds pass through here every year. According to Traveller's Digest, Tel Aviv is in the top 10 for cities with the world's most beautiful women. And yes, also among the top 10 when it comes to good-looking men. But women in Israel have much more to offer than just a pretty face. Israeli women also have more academic degrees than the men do. So if you are the next Mary Curie, this is the place for you. Not for nothing is Israel known as the startup nation. There are more than 3,000 high-tech companies and startups in Israel. That's the highest concentration in the world outside of Silicon Valley. So what was invented here? The technology that allows us to chat in WhatsApp, Messenger, and everything else you youngsters spend your time on. The world's first antivirus software, gesture-controlled and hands-free computers. Technology to prevent traffic accidents. Taxi Service App, remember when you had to wave your hand for a taxi? A social network that allows you to steer clear of traffic jams. A really small pill that can photograph your body from the inside. How does it get out? Solar energy water heater, irrigation system that conserves water, painless hair removal, well, almost painless, anti-jellyfish sting gel, laser keyboard, the technology that enabled unmanned flight, cherry tomatoes, and Rummy Cup, the popular board games today. And speaking of prestigious awards, none is more prestigious than the Nobel, right? 9 Israelis have won the Nobel Prize in Sciences. The last one was Professor Dan Shechtman for the discovery of the quasi-periodic crystal. See if you can say 5 times really fast quasi-periodic crystal. Israel also grows flowers, lots of flowers. For last Valentine's Day, Israel shipped more than 60 million flowers to Europe. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. Israel is not a monarchy but does have a queen. Her name is Dana International and she's the first transgender to win the Eurovision contest. Time Out magazine has crowned Tel Aviv as gay capital of the Middle East and Carmel. And while we're in Haifa, did you know that it is the most multi-ethnic city in Israel? It has Jews, Christians, Muslims, both Sunnis and Shias, Druze and Baha'is. Did you know that Israel is the only place in the world where the number of trees increases year by year? Even with all these forests, 60% of Israel is desert, which didn't prevent us from turning the barren desert into productive farmland. A desert doesn't have much water, so Israel was forced to lead the world in desalination technologies. Israeli scientists developed treatments for multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and most important, discovered the cause of halitosis. Yes, bad breath. Israelis are also not too shabby when it comes to sports. Maccabi Tel Aviv took the European Championship 6 times. In judo and windsurfing, Israel is an Olympic powerhouse. And if you're still not impressed, what would you say to the fact that the Emmy-winning series Homeland was written in Israel? Or that more than 1 million notes are stuffed into the Western Wall every year? Where does God find the time to read them all?
Well, it was a great tour. Thank you.
Hope to see you again, guys.
Yeah, sure.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. Welcome to Afghanistan. Have a seat. I thought good afternoon was Chad Gambia. Oh, that's in Daria. I was talking Pashto. Here in Afghanistan, we have married a lot of ethnic groups, over 10. And a lot of them have different languages. And the Pashtun and the Hazara, which speak Pashto and Dari respectively, are the biggest ones. So we made those the official language. There are so many ethnic groups. Do they all get along? Sadly, no. Especially the Pashtuns and the Hazaras being the majority, they discriminate a lot of the minorities, yes, the ethnic groups. But the government's trying to work on it. The ex-president even had a cabinet of most of the ethnic groups, people representing most of the ethnic groups, so they all feel together.
You might notice that most Afghans are relatively young. That's because we have what you might call a rapid growing population, meaning the older people are significantly less. But to us, old people are really important. They are very wise and most great teachers. That's why in business, they are usually the bosses. They teach us respect in business, like wearing the appropriate clothes, acting with trust and honor in business meetings, fairness, justice, and above all, respect to each other. Which makes working here a little bit hard, because we're expected to follow all of these aspects and not fail, and failure here is frowned upon. Plus, being a woman in a male-biased society can sometimes cause a disadvantage in both our everyday life and our business life.
And what's that? Oh, they're preparing for the Eid al-Fitr festival. We usually start preparations 10 days before the actual event.
Oh, and what is it? What is Eid al-Fitr?
It's an important religious holiday celebrated by Muslims worldwide that marks the end of Ramadan, the Islamic holy month of fasting. It is common practice that every family visits other families and friends, and to make helabi and cake bakocha, which are Afghanistan desserts, and also traditional dishes like pilau, which consists of meat and which consists of meat. Then we gather for the Eid, which is a performed congregation in open areas like fields, community centers, etc., or amongst mosques. followed by a sermon in which we pray to Allah.
And all their festivities Muslim.
Well, given the fact that our official religion is Islamic, yes, the majority are, but there are some, like the Persian New Year's, which was processed before the Islam came to Afghanistan, that some communities still celebrate. Allahu Akbar. This is our first stop, the Gardens of Babur. This beautiful garden is also the last resting place of the Mughal Emperor Babur.
Founded by the first Mughal emperor, whose land stretched from Kabul to Delhi, Babur's gardens have been in the central Kabul site since 1548 and were so loved by the medieval conqueror that 9 years after his death, his son Humayun brought his remains to be buried here. Now Babur's tomb tops the terraced gardens, which span 26 acres, providing a rare respite for Kabulis to come and live.
It's so hot here.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let's go to the shadow for a little bit. Yes, you kind of get used to the heat, and we also wear loose fitted clothes and light clothes, so you know we can be outside in the sun and not melt.
Don't you wear burqas?
Well, burqas, along with the niqab and hijab, are religious and are made to show modesty. But burqas are usually worn where the Taliban has a larger influence. Well, this is the end of our tour.
Oh, thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Oh,
My leg! Oh no. I think we have to go to the hospital. My leg really hurts. I think I'll have to go to Mexico. I need to go to a hospital.
but what about Saudi Arabia?
It's okay, you can continue. I won't be mad.
Hope you get well soon. Hello. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Sit down. Let's start with the tour. Okay. Hello. Today it is a very special day because it is when millions of Muslims cross the Saudi Arabia's border because they want to reach the Kaaba, which is in the Mecca, which is the holy city of Islam, because it is where Muhammad, the prophet, was born.
And what exactly is a Kaaba?
The Kaaba is a mosque built around a black stone in which millions of Muslims offer their prayers, and it is believed that it was the first place that was created on earth, and it is where the heavenly bliss and power touches the earth directly.
هو أقرب إلي من حبل الوريد يا من يحول بين المرء وقلبه.
How does this happen?
It happens like the 8th or 12th or 13th of the last month in the Islamic calendar.
Oh, so we have different calendars and different dates.
Yes, that's true.
Here in Saudi Arabia, the 90% of the population is Arab.
Oh, well, that's a lot. Are there any other ethnic groups?
Yes, you can see Afro-Asiatic, Yemeni, and also Saudi.
Okay.
As a cultural fact, there is a festivity that celebrates the birthday of the Prophet, Muhammad, and the people here decorate their homes and
famosas.
And how is this festivity called and when is it celebrated?
It is called Milad Ayurved, and it is celebrated. Well, the celebration varies from year to year according to the Islamic calendar.
Okay.
Well, what time is it?
I think it's lunchtime.
Well, let's go and eat some. So, what do you want for lunch?
I don't know what do you get? What do you have?
Well, the dishes here are a lot different from what you're used to, but you must try them.
Oh yes, that's why we came here to learn from different cultures.
Well, I can say that the most popular dish is the kapsa.
Oh, what is it? What is the kapsa?
Kapsa is the #1 dish in the country, and it is made of meat, vegetables, and rice.
Perfect. It sounds good. Let's
have
take a seat.
Hi, I brought you some.
Well, this is the meat. In this case, it is chicken. So you start first. Did you like it?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I'm glad to hear that. Okay, my partner will continue the tour because I need to leave, but she will tell you more about the culture here in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You must be the guy.
Yes, I will take a seat, please.
Well, I have one question. How are the customs in here?
Okay, the customs of men and women are different, but they're both like ruled in a Sharia law. The men wear like white tunics. There are like a rope around their arms that is onto the ankles. During winter, they prefer to use wool, so it's like warmer. And women have to be all covered. They can only leave their short face like out. And they use an agaya that is like to cover her hair, and it also protects her from the sun and the heat. They use a black tunic that is long, so any part of their body are seen. On the head, the men use three things: a piece of cloth that is no gotcha, a taiga, and an igar. There's like a headband, so it supports everything and it doesn't fold.
And do you have any recommendations for me?
Yes, I have many, but I'll tell you like the basic ones. Pork and alcohol are illegal in Saudi Arabia, so you should avoid them. Friday is a rest day. You shouldn't ask people about their daughters, women, or talk about Israel, but talk about sports is permitted. The left hand is considered unclean, so you should never eat with that hand. Also, another thing is you should take out your shoes when you arrive to a building or a house, and wear button shirts and pants. And when you go to work, you should also wear like a jacket.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well.